Welcome, everyone, to episode 301 of Just Joshing. That's right, we are on the road to 400, starting now. I am your host, Joshua Pentelaresco. I write stuff and podcasts too. Today, my guest is Savannah Denise. Savannah Denise is rep from Indie Imprint. She's launching her very first novel. It was really cool talking to her about that. It's always fun to talk to somebody about to undergo a big journey, and Savannah was awesome. I was her first interview, apparently, her first podcast. She was nervous. I could tell, but she definitely relaxed as time went on. We had a really good conversation. Let's see. This week I'm going to Ottawa to CanCon, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I'm looking forward to meeting some new people, making some friends in Ontario. It's going to be a fun little trip, and then I'm getting ready for BC. Still haven't heard from the day job exactly when I'm starting yet, so I'm kind of in a weird limbo. I do know it's going to be inevitable, probably sooner than later. Heck, by the time you listen to this, I might already know. We'll find out. But before all that, also, this month is Indie Imprint month. We're starting right now. Today's awesome little thing is Get Your Ass to Mars. It is a simulation game. It's coming out this Halloween. Let's hear the advertisement for it, and then from there we'll get to our conversation. All right? All right.
Think you have what it takes? Get Your Ass to Mars. Gaiatim is a simulation game in which you arrive on Mars ahead of the colonists about to settle into this new home. Until they arrive, you have to survive, facing limited resources and a brand new world filled with unexpected challenges. Can you establish what the colonists need to survive? Or will Mars get the better of you? Gaiatim, the Dragon Edition, launches this November, courtesy of Indie Imprint on Steam and Windows. Check out indieimprint.com for more information.
If I have anything I like to say?
No, you have something incriminating you'd like to say, make it good. Because we're on the air after all. It's got to be entertaining, right? Right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Totally chill and relaxed. Just looking forward to having this wonderful conversation with you, Miss Savannah. So, I think we'll begin with this way.
Okay.
So, you're about to debut. So you're about to debut your book. So congratulations, first and foremost.
Thank you.
And second, so how did this come about?
How did the book come about?
How did you? How about we start with why did you decide to do the book? We'll talk about how the book came about in a bit. But why did you decide to go? I'm going for it. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to write my book. I'm going to become a millionaire overnight and sell millions and millions of books. What was? That was
my exact thought right there. So it's just like this. I have two babies.
Yes.
Ariel and Amari. Amari is the baby. He's 18 months, and Ariel, she just turned 3. And I work. Really, you're going to probably think it's funny, but last year when my baby, he was only a few months. He was maybe 3 months, and I didn't really have a lot of time to do anything, but I used to write short stories. I never thought that I'll go as far as publishing a story. But I started working at a nursing home, and overnight I had a lot of time on my hands because the residents are sleeping and things like that. So I just started writing on paper and like on my phone, and I started sending it to people close to me, like just one chapter, and like, how do you think this sound and stuff like that. And everybody was pleased with it or whatnot.
They're encouraged.
I just continue. Yeah, I'm a very dramatic person. I watch a lot of soap operas and teen dramas and stuff like that. I just know that I don't want to be a regular. I don't want to work irregular, and that's just what I know. I want more. So.
Okay, so what's your soap opera of choice? I gotta ask.
General Hospital.
General Hospital. Okay.
I've been working General Hospital since I was 9 years old.
Oh wow.
Diehard Jason and Sam fan, and when the real Jason Morgan, which is Steve Burton, left the show, I stopped watching until he came back.
Once upon a time, I used to like The Young and the Restless. Once upon a time.
The Young and the Restless, he went there.
Yes.
That's where he went.
Yeah.
But I was mad about that. But yeah, I like the General Hospital. I've been watching this since it's always a new twist and a new plot to the story, and I remember I always say they got too much going on. It's annoying, all the story plots, but it keep you watching it though.
That's the idea, right? They want you to come back, right?
Yeah.
Day after day after day.
I want people to feel that way. Like, oh, she got a lot going on, but at the same time, it's so good that I have to keep reading, you know?
So you basically want to dictate the masses with your storytelling. So way back in the day, there was this king that was executing his wives, right? One of them came up with the idea, though, that before she died, she started telling him a story, right? And she would tell it, and the king became enraptured in the story. And then she would leave it at a cliffhanger. He's like, well, what happens next? And she's like, well, you're going to kill me. So he would keep her alive the next day, and she'd continue the story, right? Then she'd leave him on a cliffhanger. And then he'd do the same thing over and over and over again. And she finally was able to do this for years and years and years, right? She lived a long time. I feel like soap opera came from something like that. So that whole idea of leaving a cliffhanger.
After cliffhangers, that's a soap opera itself. That's all. Every episode ends with a cliffhanger. Every week on Friday, because you know it does not play on Saturday and Sunday. It's Monday through Friday every day. Mm-hmm. And every Friday there's a different cliffhanger, and it keeps you wanting to watch it.
So that's your crack of choice then, is General Hospital.
That's just one. I was inspired by so many shows. Yeah. That's just a soap opera. The other shows weren't soap operas, you know, like 90210, Gossip Girl, One Tree Hill. I am a diehard fan of Gossip Girl, Vampire Diaries, and all of those. I like teen dramas a lot.
You like teen dramas?
I love fashion.
You love fashion. So you decided you were going to incorporate all this into your stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want the dramatic. So I guess the question I'm going to ask then is, with your first book, is this a planned series, or is this going to be like?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your master plan?
What was that?
What's your master plan?
Me, I'm just gonna start with book 1 and see where it goes.
Okay.
I don't want to plan things because you never know what may happen, but I will say I am working on something.
Yes.
But I can't.
Okay.
Details.
Well, it's okay. I'm not here to get all the details. I just like the romance. Like there's definitely like the romance industry. So you're more into the romantic, like urban fantasy romance, or just romance.
I love romance. What do you say? A hopeless romantic. That's what I am.
Yeah.
I like to feel things when I'm reading a book or watching a TV show. And if I don't, then I feel like it sucks. The book sucks and the TV show sucks. So I need people to read this and feel like, and also when I'm reading, I want to be able to visualize. I like to visualize and pretend like I'm watching a show. So when I'm reading my novel, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm watching one of my favorite TV shows. It doesn't feel like I'm reading at all. It feels like I'm there with them. I'm a part of the crew.
Oh, that's fair.
I normally write urban fiction. And you don't have to, not say you don't have to do too much to do that, but your grammar doesn't have to be perfect, and you can basically say anything in those books. You know what I mean? But now I had to be perfect. Like I had to fix. It took me a while to fix, and then Jess and Mike, they helped me out a lot.
Yes.
Mike wasn't the best because I only did urban fiction, a romance novel. You know what I mean?
Well, romance is a little bit disrespected. I'm friends with the romantic community up here in Alberta, and they did an event called, like, some of them are great writers. Listen, it takes talent to make a sock seem sexy. I have a friend of mine actually did a scene with. I'm serious, right? I mean, you gotta think about this. Like, everything's an art form in and of itself, right? Everything's about telling a story, and whether it's about slaying a giant dragon, or whether it's about taking your socks off in a provocative way, or whether it's anything in the middle, right? Yeah, you have to tell the story the right way, or if you don't, right? If you don't, it's not good. But if you can tell the story the right way, if you tell the story the way you should tell it, like you want to tell it, you can make anything engaging. And it doesn't matter whether it's romance or science fiction or, right? So all I'm just telling you is, it sounds like, don't sell yourself short. it sounds like you put a lot of work into this, and you should give yourself a pat on the back. I mean, I know it's scary because you're getting out there. You're like, what are people gonna think about my stuff, right?
That's my exact thoughts right now. I feel like my anxiety gets bad thinking about it. I'm at the point where I told my friend yesterday, I'm like, I feel like I want to like back out. Like I don't want to back out. Obviously, I do want to put the book out there, and we worked so hard for of people. I know there's going to be critics. There are going to be good reviews and some bad reviews, but I have to prepare for it because I'm really
your stuff. I know what you're going through right now. You're going through. Do you know what imposter syndrome is? No. Okay, imposter syndrome is when you're about to do something really, really good. Okay, so there's two big fears when you go to do something. There's the fear of failure, which everybody has to some degree, right? But there's also the fear of success. Now, most people don't really think about this one because the fear of success is, it's not that you can't succeed, it's just that success, like, what if this does really well, right? And then now you have this expectation on you didn't have before, right? And on top of that, it's not familiar. Most of us know what failure feels like. It sucks, right? But failure, right? We know what failure feels like. So there's a certain familiarity to failure. Success, on the other hand,
don't know what that feels like.
Exactly. It's right. Or if you do, it's in very, very small quantities. So you're used to failure. But this might do really well. I mean, you don't know for sure, but you're like, oh my God, it's like, what scares you more, failing or succeeding?
That you make a point there. I didn't think about that. I only been thinking about what if it fails. I never thought, like, what if it succeeds and I don't even know.
Yeah, that's my point, right? See, that's my point. If I were to make a guess, Miss Savannah, I would suggest that maybe that scares you even more than the failure does, right? Because now you have to write something else, or you're going to feel compelled to write something else, and then it will be as good as what you already did, right? And that's a mind game, right? So, can I give you a piece of advice?
Yeah, sure.
Don't worry about it. And I know it sounds really simple, but this is the best you can do, right? You worked your ass off to get to this point. You honestly did. You're a single mom, 2 kids. So you never.
I'm not a single mom.
No.
I'm a mom, but I'm not a single mom.
Okay, fair enough. My bad. But you work at a nursing home. You wrote a book. That means you never sleep. I mean, that's just the way it is. You never sleep.
I used to work overnight until in January. I started at like a corporate office. I work for a company for imprint, so I sit at my computer all day at work. And on some of my downtime, at the end of the night, I write. Then when I come home, I sit on my computer. Screen time for me. So unfortunately, I'm no longer at the nursing home. I miss it, but I wasn't getting any sleep. Like you said, I was working overnight and coming home to the little babies.
Yeah. See, I mean, So here's what I'm saying. You busted your ass, right? You busted your ass to get to this point. And so here's the thing. Have enough ego to say, you know what? I did damn good to get this far, right? Just have that. And so the thing about success is there's no guarantees how successful you be. Maybe you sell only 10 books. Maybe you sell 1,000. Maybe you sell 1,000,000. Who knows? Like you don't know, right? So the strategy, the thing I would just think. This is what I mean. Be open to the possibilities that it could be great, it could be bad. Like whatever happens, as you so eloquently put it. But don't be afraid of the opportunities that will come your way should it go well. Because you know what? You'll have earned them. Don't cheat yourself is basically what I'm telling you. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I just never thought of it that way. I thought just failure. I never thought if I was scared to succeed, but it really makes a lot of sense because that's maybe what I'm feeling. Because I always say, like, what if this turned into a show or something?
Exactly.
Like
And it might. You never know, right? You never know. You put it out there. I mean, here's the thing, right? I accidentally started this podcast. Just things happen. I accidentally got published. Things happen. And the secret, I know, it's how it works, right? So I was smart enough just to be open to the possibilities of what might be. In your case, I mean, that's probably the best piece of advice I can give you getting started. It's not what you do now, no matter how far you go, it's preparing you for the next thing. That's how this works, right? This leads to the next, which leads to the next, which leads to the next, which leads to the next. So, all you have to do, let's keep this really simple. Get out of your own way. Just, you know what? I'm going to be open to this. I mean, your priority is your kids. That's cool, but beyond that, I'm open to absolutely anything that comes my way, right? And I can handle it because I am Savannah and I am awesome, right? And that's how you gotta. And if you have that approach, if you just have that approach, good things will come your way. Now, it may not. Like again, I can't promise you what you're gonna sell. I have no idea, right? But it sounds to me so. There's two types of imposter syndrome, right? Imposter syndrome for tragedy, and imposter syndrome for triumph. Right? What if I succeed? Oh my God, that's one form of imposter. Or, oh my God, right? That's one form of imposter. The other part is, oh my God, things went to shit. I'm shit. That's the other imposter. They're both imposters. They're both liars. Right? They're both liars. So, in your case, so you know what the second imposter sounds like, I feel you know the second one. You've run into that guy, that asshole before, and you know how to slap that down. But the first one, right? The first one is also a liar. Just leave yourself open to the opportunities being presented to you. That's it. No more, no less. I know it's going to be hard. Like I said, enjoy it. If it goes great, man, celebrate it. But on the same token, if it doesn't, that's okay. There's always the next thing. And you'll got the next thing too. Right?
That's true.
You feel better, I think.
I do. It's just that I wasn't all this year. I've been like communicating with Jess and Mike, and we've been working on it. And I've been having like, you guys, I think something's gonna happen really good with this. And as soon as we got done with the final draft, and I've had beta readers, I went through all of it, and I don't know why I'm still so nervous, because I've actually gotten really good feedback.
Well, no, nerves are good. Nerves are good. I mean, look, if you care, of course you care. You busted your ass on this, right? So, of course you care. If you didn't care, look, I got a novel coming out soon myself. I'm nervous as hell. Yeah. So you want to hear mine? Mine's about a very cowardly character that follows a girl with a gunblade into the cloud, which is the digital cloud you were talking about earlier before trying to find for connect. But now in my story, it's archaeology, so it's like the Matrix meets Indiana Jones. So my follows this girl into the cloud. He gets a file that everybody from zombie mobsters to unicorns that fart rainbows wants, and his only salvation is the girl with the gunblade, who may or may not like him very much. I know this book's good. Like, I feel it. I know it's going to be good. But I'm scared, too, because it's like, oh my God, what's going to happen when this gets out in the world? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Like
But that's...
I think I should give myself more credit. A lot of people have been telling me that lately.
Yeah, well, no, look. Like, I don't know what hand fate dealt you. I don't know you very well enough to get comments on that. But based on what I'm seeing, you've done fairly well for yourself, all things considered, and you definitely have a good work ethic. And you are willing, and you want to make good changes for yourself, which says an awful lot about you personally. That's actually very good qualities. So don't sell that short. There are a lot of people in this life that are very content to stay where they're at, no matter where they're at. Because we're going back to something we were talking about. Because of familiarity. Because of fear. You are taking that plunge. So yeah, it's natural to be nervous and scared. You don't know where this is going to go. Right? There's the road less traveled. It's got gravel. It's got some occasional yellow bricks here and there that haven't been plundered by people here and there. And then there who the hell knows what else is on this road? But that's the road you're kind of going down.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what's gonna happen next. And my thing is, I have like people. I've been announced that I was working on Secrets in Manhattan novels, and a lot of my Facebook friends, like a lot of people at my job, like even my kids' pediatrician and the nurses, they've been waiting wholly. You know what? People, what if it's like not what they expect? You know what I mean? Like,
well,
it's
so
good to me.
that's not. Are you happy with it? Are you happy with the book? Let's ask that question first and foremost. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, it's something
Yeah.
If I do write it, I can honestly say it's something I would buy. It's something I would like to read and see on television.
So here's the thing, okay? Hold on. Let's see if I can find this. I'm going to show you something. Unicorn pen. Right? See? Writes out his ass like I talk out of my ass, right? So, right? right? And see, here's the thing. Right? I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm very comfortable in my skin. I know when my book comes out, it's not for everybody. Your book's not going to be for everybody either. And that's okay, right? Okay. Some of your friends are going to be like, that's not for me. Like they'll buy it because they love you and support you, and that's always great. That's always great. But they're going to be like, no. But then you're going to go to a book convention someday. You're going to go to a conference. And you're gonna write and go, what the hell am I doing here? I'm just you're based out of Chicago, right?
Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, okay. I'm just this girl from Chicago. What the hell am I doing here? And the next thing you know, you're gonna have this ecstatic fan come up to you and go, oh my God, I read your book and it changed my life. That's gonna happen to you. And you're gonna find those groups of people in your life. That are going to support you. And those are your fans. Those are the people that are going to support you. Now, that might be only 100 people. It might be 10 million people. And it could be somewhere in between, right? So you're right. Well, I mean, but this is how you, again, that open mind possibility. Like I said, to keep yourself open no matter what, right? Your deal is, I'm going to be for me, right? For you. Right? Figure out who you are on the page. That's who you are. And then be that person off the page. I'm not saying this should be as colorful and wild, provocative, whatever's going on in there is going on in there. But be you. And the thing about being yourself, you'll draw people just like you to you. And they will buy your books to support you. That's how this works. You feel a lot better talking to me, I can tell.
I do. I'm not as nervous as I was.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I thought we were going to be talking about, but you did say like a casual conversation. Know why I wasn't nervous. I'm apparently an intimidating individual. I don't know why. I just apparently people for whatever reason. I have a theory. Here's my theory. Because I've been making, I look straight at people. I make eye contact. I think I intimidate people just because this is it. Like, you can tell that this is me. All right, whatever the case may be, this is me. So, it's good to be nervous. If you weren't nervous, I think something would be wrong. But you are nervous. Yeah, because that means I wouldn't care about this, and I'm.
Yeah, exactly.
I was, like you said,
Absolutely, right? So don't approach this like it's good to be nervous. I accept I'm nervous. Do you know what I'm a bit of a fear junkie. I remember when I was like a kid. And I remember like I was there. Okay, I'm from Canada. There's this like park called the Pinery. It's based out of Ontario. It's about 3 hours from, as we'll say, about 3 hours from Detroit, just to give you an idea whereabouts this is. So I remember I was like 6. I remember this, okay? Or no, I was 7 years old. We were there, and these waves would go like this, like really high, kind of like high for, I'm 7, okay? So they might be probably a little bit bigger than I imagined them to be, but because you're 7 years old, you have an imagination that goes wild. And so my dad goes in. My mom's like bathing on the side. So my sister tries to go in. She's like literally younger than me. Wave knocks her on her butt. Just knocks her right on her butt. She goes right out. Goes, no more, no mas. I have no more, enough. I'm like, I'm scared of this wave. And then this, so I start doing it, like, so the little ones started coming in. So I started jumping over the little waves, like, just having some fun. All of a sudden, this big wave shows up. This giant, this seems like this massive wave. It scared the crap out of me. And then I'm like, I get out of the pool. It's like, oh no, I gotta do this. And then that's something that's like, you gotta do this. Like, why do I gotta do this? I don't want to do this. But I went in, I jumped, I got creamed. But I was laughing when it was over. It was great, right? Fear is awesome. And a lot of people don't understand, like that feeling of you're in that moment. You're more aware when you're scared than when you're not. Like when you're feeling something, there's an adrenaline that kind of comes with it. I understand why people become fear junkies. I do, because I get it. Like when you have something you really care about, right? You're really in that moment in a way that you're not just about any other thing. It's one of the coolest, it's probably the coolest natural high, right, we get, short of maybe getting laid, right? But besides that, it's one of the greatest self-highs you can feel. And when I feel this fear, I try to embrace it. Because when I embrace that fear, I'm no longer... You don't want the fear to master you. Does that make sense? Right? Yeah, right. Does that make sense? And it's a hard balance because sometimes you feel it the whole time, right? You do feel this the whole time. But when you do feel the fear, and this takes practice, don't get me wrong. You take a step back and go, okay, what am I actually scared of? Right? Sometimes I'm nuts. I'm a little crazy. Sometimes like, oh, this is awesome, right? That's me. Right? But you might go, this feels awful. And sometimes the fear isn't worth embracing, right? Like, maybe that jump off the cliff might not actually be worth that high. Then again, maybe it is. For everybody, that's a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Right? But be honest with yourself. At the end of the day, you do what you want to do always. Doesn't matter what your situation is. So the trick is, are you in control of those desires, or are those desires in control of you? Most people don't. Most people never look at it that way.
I didn't before I talked to you. I wasn't thinking like that.
Yeah. Big difference, right?
Yeah.
How old are you?
25.
Oh, wow. You make me feel old. I'm 30. I'm 37. So I've lived. I know.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
You're really young.
I do. I live crazy. What can I tell you? I've lived crazy. I mean, that is literally like. I'm bringing this up to you. I'm just bringing all this to your attention because you're just starting. Like this is. How long have you wanted to write, if you don't mind, like stuff like this, like something like this?
Literally since I was. So here's the thing. I'm from Chicago, and I grew up in like a project, and there was a library. I have an older cousin that she's a librarian, and she's been working there since I was a kid, like 15, 16 years maybe. And I was really good. I'm a really good reader. I always loved to read, and I would volunteer and read to things like that. I joined book clubs, and I even volunteered just to help her do her job at the library, put up books and things like that. So I'm always around books as a kid. And I used to read, probably at that age, I was already reading like urban fiction books like that. I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's
But
okay.
whatever, I did it, and I mean, they were good. Most of them, I know I would always say, I would read the book and I'm like, I wish it was more to it than just sex, drugs, and money. I will always say that I wish there was like an actual plot or an actual story to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll make a recommendation for you when this is over. But that's okay. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I used this, and then I kind of branched off to like regular romance, and I'm like, this is me. This is totally me. This has like a story to it, you know.
So
and there's still drama in romance.
Oh no.
There's still.
Oh yeah. So what kind of romance? Like is it time travel? Is it like vampire steampunk romance? Is it like whatever?
I love supernatural stories. Twilight, of course, that was I love it. But then there's a difference from the actual movies and the novels. It's different. I like to read it and I like to watch the movies.
Okay.
But outside of Vampire Diaries and things like that, I like just a regular. I'm very pretty simple. I like a simple love story. That's all.
There's nothing wrong with the simple
drama.
love. Hey, listen.
Like
Rock
but
music.
I don't. What was that?
I was going to say rock music is based on two things, right? My girlfriend is awesome, or my girlfriend's crap, right? I'm serious. Most rock songs are one or the other, right? So, simple is good. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, I like simple, and so, anyways, I used to read one of my favorite books was The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier. I done read that book so many times as a teenager and even had my friends read it. I love like a lot of Zane books and things like that. But there was just, I wanted to read something simple without something that wasn't so provocative. And I found that, so I started watching Gossip Girl. I never knew it was a novel series, but I watched the show. I watched the show, and then I started reading the books. I'm like, it's really good to actually read it because the book is so much different than the show.
Books add layers.
I love the show.
Yeah, books add layers that you don't see sometimes on television. They're just two different mediums, so they work a little differently, right? So.
Either way, I love to read, and then I like to see it play out on the screen. So here was the thing. I would say in middle school, I would write like a lot of stories, come up with like crazy stories. But there's an app, a Wattpad. I would submit to there, and I would do that. I would submit the short stories to there.
Okay.
I've been doing that for some years now, but I never thought that I would actually go write a series and actually like go publish it. That never came to my mind.
No, but it sounds to me like you've kind of been on this path for a long time anyway. Like this is something you kind of like. It feels natural.
Yeah, it is really natural. And I just know I'm like I wanna create something. You know how do I explain this? Do you have a favorite movie that you can watch and you can watch it over and over and again and you'll still feel the same emotion? Like
yes,
I can watch certain movies, certain episodes of Vampire Diaries, and I still cry. I still feel mad or sad when something happens, even though I've seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So that's a true talent to be able to do that. It's also a true talent, I feel like. I've been watching 13 Reasons Why, and I just finished the series really up. The bad guy was killed, and a lot of bad stuff happens to him, but at the beginning they make you hate these people, and then they make you feel sorry for them. I feel like that's a true talent too. So I want to see if I have what it takes. To make
the trick to that, and this will come with practice. No one's entirely a bad guy. No one, no matter who you right. Look, Hitler liked his dog. He did, right? That doesn't change the fact that he was also a monster, right? But no one's all bad. No one's all good either.
Exactly.
Right? We all have our flaws. We all make mistakes. And, that doesn't excuse everything we do, mind you. But we're human beings at the end of the day. And, I mean, there's things I should do better personally in my life, and I know that. There's things you do better in your life, and you should know that, and you know those things too. On the same token, there are moments when you're absolutely heroic. You know what I mean? Right?
Yep.
Right? And the truth is, you're probably somewhere in the middle. And if you can make your characters that way in fiction, right, you now have a three-dimensional character. Like that, right? And then suddenly, they're not all bad. They might still be bad. They might still be bad guys, but they're not all bad anymore, right? They have a code of honor, right?
Exactly.
Right. So
I feel like that's a true talent. Like,
yeah.
I'll start watching something and I'll automatically say, "Oh, I hate him. He's such a bad person." And by the second season, I'm in love with this man. Like, what? How does that happen?
Yeah.
That's how it was with Tiger. I have a character that I just be just this horrible person, and I'm like, everybody's gonna hate him. And then as I'm writing it, I promise God, I started developing a story, but he wasn't even meant to be a main character. I was gonna kill him off the first book. It was gonna be one of those, he's bad, he's gotta go. Then I saw potential. I'm like, he has potential of redemption, and that will be like so good.
Yeah.
So
either way you go, actually. Yeah, either way you go, it's good. Either you redeem, either way it's good. Either you redeem him and people go, yeah, or you don't, but you tease it and people just go, oh, you know.
What gets me is when, like on 13 Reasons Why, when they redeem the person and just kill them off. That strikes a nerve. That, like, breaks my heart. Because I'm like, you made me this person, then you made me fall in love with this person, then you freaking killed them off, but I'm still gonna watch them.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
If I'm gonna continue to watch it.
Absolutely. Although I do feel like that's a bit of a.
It's boring.
Pardon? I didn't hear that last part.
I said I feel like it's boring. It's boring to have all the characters be the hero all the time.
Oh, you can't. Even the heroes can't be heroes all the time. Hey, look, you know this. You're a parent. Sometimes you have to be the bad guy. You have to be, right? You have to be the villain. It's necessary, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that you want to be the villain, but you gotta be willing to be the villain, right? We're all heroes, and the trick is if you're honest with yourself, to be honest with yourself, you realize that you're not always the hero in your story. Sometimes you're the villain, right? In fiction, right, you can always make it that every character thinks they are the hero in their own story. And if you do that, that's interesting when you twist that on them. It's like, wait, but you do this and this and this, and you make them unable to run from the truth. Like, I'm the hero. Well, if you're the hero, why are you doing cocaine? Or,
exactly.
All right, or your hero. I do the right things. I fight the bad guys. Yeah, but you also don't do this with your neighbor next door. You don't just because you don't like them. Well, yeah, but that's real, right? Are there people you don't like? It's easy to be good to people you like. It's hard to be good to people you don't, right? And that's right, and that again, this is all growth stuff, right? And those are all those little like layers and nuances you can add, to your characters.
Exactly. I feel like it's fun to create.
Yeah.
Probably my most, besides the fashion and like going online and actually finding like these expensive dresses and heels and purses. No, I'm serious. I do a lot of research now, but I didn't know how much it was important until Jess told me, like, things matter. You want to make it believable. I've never been to New York a day in my life, but when you read this novel, you're going to think I grew up in New York. You're going to probably think I'm a rich, privileged kid, but I do my research. I don't have 1,000 pair of Manolos and VVAs, but I look at them online, so that's the fun part about it. And like Googling settings and, you know what I mean, describing the settings and things like that, and actually looking at it online. But besides that, my favorite part was creating the characters, like, and deciding where I want to take them. Like, because obviously you can't decide. Well, you can decide your own fate, but you don't really know what's going to happen to you. But with the characters, I know exactly what's going to happen to them.
Have your characters fibbed on you? Like, because like what I mean by this is I wrote this one story once, and I get to this one point, and my character goes, "Okay, you have to kill me now." Like, literally, like that's the story I had to go next, and I was like, right? It was like, and I'm like, no, I don't want. It's like, you need to do this.
I'm so attached to all of them, like, that I don't want it. I'm attached to them. Like, I feel like I'm a part of them. Like,
Absolutely.
I feel like these are real people that get along with, honestly, in real life.
Oh no, absolutely. They're parts of you in some way or another, right? But sometimes the right thing. Do you know? Have you ever heard the expression "murder your darlings"? Okay, so it has two meanings. It has two meanings. You ever write this line you're really proud of? Like you're like, yeah, this is a great line. But it doesn't serve the story you're writing. No matter how you try to flower it up, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't fit. You have to cut it. Right? You're like,
yeah.
Right. That's one version of Murder Your Darlings. The other one is a little bit more brutal, and it does have to happen sometimes. Is when you go to your character, it's like your character goes, okay, listen, for this story to have the gravity you want, you have to get rid of me.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. All right. So there's two. Like, so you have to murder your darlings sometimes, even if. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I know what you mean. There's a lot of stuff that I wanted to add, and SIM is what I call it, Secrets in Manhattan. But there was a certain lines that I knew that it didn't fit there. You know, I have to cut a lot. From where I started, from the very first chapter I wrote, I don't even think any of it is in the novel. It's the same story plot, but
yeah,
the word and the story flow is all different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you have to make those decisions. Like,
is it better?
It's your book. You can't. Does it what?
Is it better?
Yeah, it's better. It's better, but I was afraid at first. I'm like, I feel like I changed too much, and that it's not the original story setting. But at the end of the day, change is good sometimes, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Change is good. And overall, it's really good. Like, I can't really, you can't take my word from it because I wrote it. So you can't really take my word from it. Of course, I'm going to say it's good, but I'd be honest, if I thought it was shitty, I wouldn't be going this far.
All right. Yeah, exactly. So you're ready for this. So I guess
I would be still writing it right now.
Yeah. So I guess it's big question time. When do you think this is going to be ready?
It's ready for the printer now.
Yeah.
So, I got a message yesterday that they're going to be sending it to me this weekend to submit to the printer. So I guess it's all in my hands after that.
Yeah, it's all in your hands. So what do you want to do?
Really
well, of course. Absolutely. You should be. A little bit. Again, totally normal. Like, it's totally normal. Right? I got 2 books. I have 2 books that are ready to go, pretty much. So, and I'm going to be doing them both. One of them,
what are you waiting for?
I'm moving to BC in November. Yeah. So I'm doing a big move. But also, one of the artist I had for one of my books is Alice in Wonderland is Greek mythology. It's an epic poem story. So I accidentally invented a board game to go with it. So I'm working on that too.
Accidentally?
What? Yes.
Accidentally.
Yes, I did. So I wanted to do I'll tell you the story how I did it. So I wanted to do a map of the multiverse, and I thought it'd be really cool because it's Alice in Wonderland. That I would do a Snakes and Ladders style map. Because Snakes and Ladders is cool, right? So,
yeah.
Okay, so I visualized this in my head. It's like, this is cool. But then I asked the universe this question. How do you play this game? And the moment I asked that question, I got an answer. Literally, I asked it, I got it. It's like, Yeah, like bang. I play tested it. My if you go on my archives on my YouTube, my 200th episode of my podcast is me playing the board game. You can actually hear a play test of the board game if you really want to. So I have a little book that's a prologue to it, but I just felt like it wasn't quite the right time for some reason in my gut. But now that I'm coming to leaving where I'm at now, I'm going another 1,000 miles west, right? I'm ready to. I just got to finish it off and I'll put it up on Amazon short term, and then long term I'm going to do print runs when I get to BC. I'm crazy this way. I'm launching books and moving at the same time because I'm nuts.
Yeah, you are crazy.
Yeah, yes. I'm a little nuts. But for me, to answer your question, it's just been about getting my priorities all together. This month is about purging all the stuff I'm going to be leaving behind. And then next, I'm expecting to hear something about a transfer probably sometime this month or next month. And then when that happens, I'm gone. And then when I get over there, then I launch because I'm nuts.
What made you decide DC?
No, not DC. BC, British Columbia.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, British Columbia, not District of Columbia, British Columbia. I'm in Canada. I'm from Canada, so I live in Alberta. Well, for me, this has been my podcast has become more successful, and like in the last, like I got sponsors, I've won awards, I've done lots of stuff. I'm a finalist for another award this year too. I've been published in a magazine because of this podcast. So I've been very, again, these are things I never asked for. This is why when I was talking about success earlier, I understand the fear, because one day I was just minding my own business, and then, oh my God, people know who I am, right? That's the thing, right? So I've had these great opportunities, but everybody that was really close to me in the city, everybody has either moved away, or the friendships, as what happens in life, your friendships evolve as priorities change, right? So it's been one or the... Yeah, you understand that, right? So one or the other. So I'm in this really unique spot right now where I'm kind of on an island unto myself, which is not a bad spot to be in, right? Because now you can choose your path. And so I chose my path.
Exactly.
Right? I chose my path. So now I'm gonna walk the rest of the walk. For me, back to familiarity. The biggest... It's different. You have kids, you want to have as stable a life as you can for your kids. I get that, right? But if you were on your own, right, you'd be more like...
I'm in New York City right now.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. But you would be looking at the concept of, okay, what fits me? Where do I want to grow? Who do I want to become? You still care about those things. Yeah. But your caveat is, what's best for my kids first? Then we'll worry about what's best for me. Now, as they get a little older, when they don't need you quite as much, when they get to their teenage years, you might go back to, okay, in that New York City dream, I gotten back I'm going for it. But maybe not. We'll see what happens when it gets to that point, right? But the point I'm getting at is, for me, I'm free to kind of come and go as I choose. So for me, since I don't have those obligations, I should grow as much as I can while I can. And then, because who knows, like, I know, like, this time next year, the road that's open to me right now will not be open. It'll be, whatever path I'm on, I will be on that path. So, right? So I'm taking advantage of my time, and that's what I'm doing. Does that make sense?
That makes very good sense, and it's really smart, and I envy people that can do that, because don't get me wrong, having the kids is like, I wouldn't even trade it. I can go back. No, I would not wait, because I wouldn't be the person I am if I didn't have those two kids. Yep. And I'm not the type of woman that I don't feel like anything can stop me. Yes, I have two kids, but if I want to pick up and go, I'm two kids. You know?
Yeah, no. it's for you. It's about what's best for them. It's not about like stopping you. It's about what's best for them. It's a completely different question, right?
So I have to think differently.
Yeah.
I have to be smart and be realistic. I can't just if it was up to me, I wouldn't work. I would sit home and write and be a stay-at-home mom. But I know that I need to provide for them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I sacrifice and I go to work and I get my writing done in between time, and it works out.
And maybe down the road, who knows? You do enough books, you get to have that dream anyway, right?
Exactly.
Right. You never know. But but again, we're both at just different points in our lives. You have a family to provide for, and I can still live crazy. So I'm going to live crazy, right? So
Crazy for the both of us.
Okay, will do. I solemnly swear I will be up to no good. Anyways, but I think I've made a good impression on you because you completely relaxed from the very beginning. Right? So, but Miss Savannah, I think we have a good interview here. What do you think?
I think so. I hope so.
I think we had a good conversation. So,
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back. When do you want to release this book?
That's hard to answer because, I want to release in September
Okay.
or October, but I don't want to wait any longer.
Okay.
You know?
So
I don't feel like I'm rushing anything because
no. So I do a little exercise. So and then this is what we're going to do this on the air. So when I also have an important life affirming question, okay, I close my eyes and I ask myself a yes or no question, and I go, should I release in your case, it would be, should I release the book in September? If the first answer is yes, that's your answer. If the answer... What? Go ahead. All right.
Should I release the novel in September?
What did you say? What did it say? You
I say yes. I say yes because deep down I want to say yes.
But see, there you go. Done. So, that's that.
I've been asking people, like, what do you guys think? Should I wait because I was going to do, like, a Sweetest Day release.
But I'm just, so, So, when you closed your eyes, it said yes, right? It said yes?
Yeah.
So, you follow that. Say yes. Now, circumstances might force you to go later, but, so, I'm going to give you the last piece of advice. I think this is something I learned when I won my award last year. I asked myself 2 questions. What did I do to get it? And what could I do to get in my own way to prevent myself from getting it again? So here's the other thing about this is why success is hard. People when people get success, right? They don't look at what got them there, and then they change that and do it in a way that they get in their way. They get in their own way. So for you, if you feel that September is the time to release it, don't seek permission. Just release it. I mean, do a little bit of a build-up for it, right? But then release it. And then figure out, like, contact your libraries, contact your bookstores, contact, like, the places where you can launch your book, and see about launching your books, right? And then go out there and introduce yourself to the world. Do everything you know how to do to succeed. That's it, right? If you know that's launching, that's giveaways, and just let what will happen, right? If you really succeed, if you really, 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 really succeed, you'll know. And if you fail, you learn, right? You learn, right? You learn what works, you learn what doesn't, and then you prepare, and then you try again. When you do succeed, be very cognizant of what you did to succeed. And then, as you get successful, you don't deviate from the things that got you there. And you get out of your own way. I have 8 rules to success. Do you want to hear them?
Mm-hmm.
Show up. It's amazing how many people break that one. Do your thing. I'm going to be nice because you have kids there. I don't want to swear too much. The thing would be another word. Don't quit. Cliche, but it's so true. The rest is rain. You can't control the rain. You can't control what kind of level of success you get. You can't control that. You can just put yourself out there. It's like when you bake. The souffle will rise or it will not. Either way, all you can do is put yourself out there, right?
Exactly.
Get out of your own way. Rule 5. The ones most people break are 1 and 5. 6. Yeah, don't worry, it's most people. 6. No excuses. You do exactly what you want to do at all times. Always. So, own it. 7. Be grateful. Be thankful. Always remember to thank the people that were with you and that helped you, because no matter what your journey is, you are never alone. No matter what you may feel at times. Number 8. Stay uncomfortable. That's how you change. Make sense?
Those are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, advice.
So for you,
My favorite is get out of your own way.
Rule 5. Right?
Rule 5.
Rule 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, if the launch is September, right? If the fear is you're not going to be ready on time. If you can't finish it, if you can't do it, you can't do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Let me finish what I'm saying, right? But if you can do it, if you are actually in a position where you can do it, and you want to do it, don't stop yourself. Just do it. Right? Just do it. And then, like I said, do the things you know what you can do. Like, call your local library. Talk to your sister. Because talk to your librarian that you grew up with and go to her. Hey, listen, my book's ready. Can I do a launch there? Go and launch your book there. Right? Why not?
I don't live in Chicago anymore.
So what?
I'm this is gonna sound bad, but I don't talk to a lot of, I don't
Okay.
talk to anymore.
Well, if there's a reason for that, there's a reason for that. I'm not going to get into personal details on that. But the idea is still sound. Contact your local libraries, launch your books. Right there, start there. Start at your local bookstores. Find your conferences, find the local places where writers gather and can sell their stuff. Go out there, be you, be the best you know how to be. Right? Be Savannah Denise. Mom extraordinaire, writer, kick-ass writer, right? And then let what happens happen, right? If you can look in the mirror and say, I did all I could. I did the absolute best I could, and this is the result. Here's the thing, you'll live with it, no matter what the result is. You'll learn from it too, right? You'll learn from it too. Win, lose, or draw, right? But I do promise you that if you can do that and you can keep yourself open to whatever possibilities are out there, good things will come of this no matter what. That's my promise to you. Maybe not the things you want, right? Maybe not but good things nonetheless, right? So that is my promise to you. All right? Good luck.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay. But good luck. I think I wish you well. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about your book, what's it about, how people can find you.
Okay, I'm on, and I suck at social media, so don't laugh at me.
It's okay. It's okay.
I didn't have a Twitter until I met my editors, Jess and Mike, and Mike told me to make a Twitter to get a hold of Jess. So I don't have an Instagram. My daughter does because she's a fashionista. But I have Facebook. My name is Savannah Denise on Facebook. I'm gonna make an Instagram. I have a Twitter. It's in it, Savannah Denise on Twitter, right? See, I told you I suck. I don't even.
That's okay.
But I have a Facebook. I'm really active on Facebook mostly. I'm gonna make an Instagram. Actually, this weekend I'm gonna make an Instagram. I'm looking to some promotional pages and things like that to get promoted because I feel like that's the step I'm at now. I need help with my marketing and things like that. But the novel is Secrets in Manhattan novel. It's based in New York City, Upper East Side class. It started off with a teenage class in high school that developed into college right away. The actor is the graduation. But they go through things that, us regular people go through as well, but they get away with them because they're rich and they're happy that a normal person like me wouldn't have. How do I say this without saying too much? But their parents aren't good role models at all. They're just as scandalous as their kids are. And it's a lot of drama. That's what I can say. A lot of drama. There's love triangle going on in there. Possibly death. Possibly.
So let's see if I can help you out here. Sounds like there's at least two people, probably from two different families, but don't get along very well, right? Have a falling out in high school that continues their rivalry into college, right? And probably probably their conflict relegates around a potential love interest. Am I right?
You're almost there. So here's the thing. Your parents were rivals in high school and college, And when they grow up and have their own kids, their kids don't know anything about their history together. So naturally, some parents, they forbid their kids to be friends with those other kids that they were rivals with their parents. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. So it's a forbidden friendship based on and with a history of a rivalry from like a generation ago.
Exactly, but then there's two characters. Am I allowed to?
Well, you can say whatever you want. It's your book. It's your book. I can't. I'm trying to help you because what. So again. Like, when I talked about my novel, Cloud Diver, cowardly character follows girl with gunblade into cloud, gets filed that unicorns that fart rainbows and zombie monsters want. His salvation is the girl with the gunblade, who doesn't like him very much. It's The Matrix meets Indiana Jones. Pretty solid pitch, right? Right?
Yeah, that really is, and because my blurb is actually, but
yeah,
it's like I suck at explaining.
So let me see if I can help you out before we wrap this up. So what is your story actually about? Like, when I do a pitch, I always think about what the core of the story is about first and foremost. My story is about getting out of someone's comfort zone, right? Before I did everything else, that was the main bit of the story. So, what's your story? Like, what is your story actually about?
Okay, upperclassman teenager, 18-year-old Megan is a new high school graduate, and she's about to get a taste of her own medicine in a way. There's someone that's not so privileged, another main character, Chanel, and she doesn't have the resources that they have, but they do go to the same school because of her academic level. But there's so much alike in ways that they don't know. They don't know each other at all. What brings them together is a guy. When Megan leaves town and she comes back and she thinks she can take her life back, but it's basically stolen by somebody else.
Okay.
A girl that she never even knew of. But her and this girl are more similar than they know.
So, doesn't that sound better? Like what you just said? This sounds a lot better, right? Right? Yeah. It's about two girls who seeming at first are enemies, but might be actually better, might be more alike than they realize.
And
yeah. So there you go. And
it's actually really crazy.
Yeah. So secrets. So it's a bit. It's teenage drama or young adult drama, right? And it will with the so Secrets of Manhattan will be coming out September-ish, right? Ish. Yes, ish. All right, and that'll be great. And you can find her at Savannah Denise on Twitter. Is that cool? Is that cool with you?
If you can't, I believe that's my. That's cool. Yeah.
Okay.
This episode of Just Joshing is sponsored by Indie Imprint. Indie Imprint supports creators by creators. Whether you are writing a book or creating a video game, Indie Imprint works with its clients to produce, edit, and present their projects to the world. For more information, check out their website at www.indieimprint.com.
And that was my conversation with Savannah Denise. Savannah's first book is out now wherever books are sold. Definitely check it out. All right. Like I said, this month is about Indie Imprint. This month is going to be from here on in until probably I'm off to BC. I'm going to be doing various things. Sign up for the newsletter. The link will be at the bottom of each episode. Just sign up for it. You might get something cool in your email. I promise to actually have some written content for you there if you put your emails in there. But Indie Imprint's giving me a lot of cool stuff to give away. But the important thing is get your ass to Mars. The Dragon Edition is out October 31st. Get your orders in now. You can get it on Steam or on your PC. It's an amazing game. It's a lot of fun. It's a good science fiction simulator. If you like some critical thinking, a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of the end of the world every time, or at least the end of the world on Mars. When you get there, that trying to survive is just really cool. So definitely check that out. That will do it for this episode of Just Joshing. If you want to support the podcast, you can do so in a number of different ways. Subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Podomatic. You can get there. My YouTube channel is Joshua Penteloresco. You can see past episodes there. My merchandise is jpenteloresco.redbubble.com. Sparkle Sparkle. That t-shirt is available to anyone, anywhere. Definitely click on get an order if that's what you want to do. Beyond that, my books, The Watcher, Storm Dance, and Wandering God, available at mirrorworldpublishing.com. Check that out. Also, coming soon, Alice Zero and The Cloud Diver. More details to come in the weeks ahead. But beyond all that, guys, stay inspired. Keep being you. Keep going for it. After all, the world is not, there's no such thing as a real world. You can be whatever you want to. All right, guys. See you next time.
Josh.